Before we get into the video, we have something important to do first. My hair is getting to be a bit of a mess and I need a haircut. I just watched a YouTube video.
I said, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
Guys, chill. It's my first time giving myself a haircut, okay? It can only get better from here.
This week, guys, we locked in.
Besides the haircut.
There was no huge motivation, no crazy big breakthrough, no late night speeches to myself, hyping me up. I was just bored. And somehow that made this week the most disciplined week yet. This week was strong. I tracked my habits. I stayed mostly on schedule. There were no major collapses. It for sure wasn't perfect. There were moments, but it was very consistent. So we're going to quickly go through this week and then we're going to talk a bit more about boredom. Starting on Sunday, the first day of February, as you can see, all the yellow check marks are good. We got everything done, and there's not much more to say. On to Monday. Again, we got everything done. We hit that gym. All our habits were completed. Woke up at 7 on Monday. Looking good. Monday. Wait, what? Am I tripping here? Looking at Tuesday, I completed everything except I did play a bit of a Minecraft, shout out Truett. So I probably played like an hour or hour and a half. It was over our screen time limit. Wednesday, the 4th, we did not hit our bedtime. And again, we somehow got on Minecraft again. I was not trying to play Minecraft that day, but you know how it happens. Otherwise, we hit the gym again on Wednesday and we got everything done that day. So then on Thursday, the 5th, we got everything done. We hit bed at 10:30, so 30 minutes late, which is not a huge deal. Other than that, everything was good. And on Friday, I did not make it to bed at 10 p.m. I made it to bed at 1 a.m. I think. Friday night, we were at a PBR tour stop, professional bull riding with my family. It's very interesting. My interest has been satisfied for a bit at least. And today I'm just getting stuff done and making this video. So guys, we had a locked in week. And besides getting my habits done, the week was filled with studying for classes, music, just studying and music. Biggest difference wasn't a new routine or a new habit. Well, it's kind of a habit or some new source of motivation. It was my attention. Specifically, I made myself bored a lot. For the past 1 or 2 years of my life, I've treated boredom as some sort of life crisis. It's an emergency, you know? As soon as you have a feeling of, oh, I have nothing to do, and my brain has open resources right now, I need to fill it with something. If I'm driving somewhere, music automatically on. Shower, that podcast is going on. Waiting for something, I'm opening my phone, checking messages, checking notifications. 5 seconds of silence feels uncomfortable, and I notice myself wanting to reach for my phone if there's a singular little break in time where my brain isn't focusing on something. But this week, I tried something way different. I let the boredom stay, and I let it take over my brain. I did not listen to anything in the car. I took my showers in silence. I did dishes in silence. I cooked in silence. I ate in silence. I did listen to a bit of music while I studied. That was really the only thing. At first, it felt really slow and uncomfortable because my brain had to start facing all of the existential questions that now are rising up in my brain that I don't want to think about. What does my future look like? What does tomorrow look like? What does the next week look like? What kind of a person am I? What am I actually pursuing right now? What am I doing right now? See, you have to start facing all these questions, and it's very uncomfortable. But boredom is very vital, very important to getting stuff done. And in today's society, where we have our phones and everything, it never happens. It really never does. If you choose to do so, you could live your whole life never being bored. And a lot of people do. And a lot of people suffer from that. Boredom is not nothing's happening. It's your brain looking for something important to think about. There's a lot of studies and ideas out there. I don't have sources. I'm just giving my thoughts that suggest boredom can activate thinking processes and it encourages learning and brain efficiency. So when we constantly escape the state of boredom, we're not just avoiding discomfort, we're actually avoiding the state that helps us to think the most. It helps us to reflect. It helps us to focus all of our attention on away from things that don't matter and question what does actually matter right now. So this week my mind was a whole lot quieter, and because it was quieter, it was a lot clearer of a week. When I drove to class, I was in silence and I was thinking about problems. When I was washing the dishes and cooking, I was thinking about what I'm gonna do for tomorrow. When I worked out or was doing school, I was able to focus on the effort of doing that thing instead of doing the thing but trying to escape it. It's like facing up to your fears, basically. It felt intense at times, but overall, it steadied out my mood and it felt like I had a sort of constant thing to rely on throughout my day. I felt more present in everything, and because of that, I was actually, as you saw, able to follow through on my habits. It was because my attention wasn't being stolen away from me. It really felt like it was being given back to me. So all this time, I think I've been approaching discipline wrong, really backwards. I kept trying to add more motivation, more routines, more habits, more lists, but I don't think discipline has anything to do with adding more. It's trying a singular harder thing. It's about removing noise and being bored. In previous weeks, I would have been in that position of boredom, and I would have done nothing except listen to music or podcasts just to fill my brain. But this time I actually sat with boredom, or I did stuff that had to get done. So this week was steady for me, and steady is something kind of new. There's no big motivation, no big crash. It just felt like you just kind of go through the week. It's hard. It's not impossible. It's fulfilling. It actually gets stuff done. And I like it. If boredom is the doorway that allowed me to access what I was able to achieve this week, then I want to do everything I can to keep that door open and allow it to change my life. This is currently what I'm looking at for next week's template. I'm just adding journaling as a evening routine, part of the evening routine. Otherwise, we just have morning routine is the same. Hitting the gym, cold approach, finish to-dos, and 10 p.m. bedtime. I have room for one more habit, but I honestly can't think of anything. You guys let me know if you have any ideas of some great habits.